Unbreakable Law 11, ask before you tell. Here's the challenge. Questions are the heart of the sale. Questions convert selling to buying. Questions uncover facts, needs, motives, emotions, and will lead you to a sale 100 times faster than making your presentation. Now, knowing this, you'd assume that all salespeople would ask brilliant questions, and you would be wrong. Here's the simple truth. If you don't ask amazing, emotionally engaging questions, you will lose to a competitor who does. A new way to look at questions and engagement, emotionally. When you're asking an existing or prospective customer a question, the object is to get them to think and respond emotionally. To most salespeople, this strategy sounds like a foreign language. Start your thinking here. The sale is made emotionally and then justified logically. Once you understand that fact, it makes perfect sense to engage the customer emotionally to set the tone for them to buy. Most salespeople are taught the difference between open-ended and closed-ended questions. A closed-ended question is one that results in a yes or no. An open-ended one is one that begins to create dialogue with the customer. Open-ended questions are good, but they don't necessarily elicit emotion. This process is necessary to understand, but at its core, it is passé. Here's the new way of thinking about your questioning strategy: logic-based questions versus emotion-based questions. This thought process and strategy will give you a new awareness about how customers think and decide. And by using emotion-based questions, you can get them to decide on you. Caution and challenge. This is insight to a new questioning process that will help you formulate emotionally engaging questions. I'm going to give you phrases to use and a few sample questions. Your job is to understand the process and create your own questions based on your product, service, customer needs, and customers' desired outcomes. Questions that draw out their emotion and keeps focus away from logic, also known as price. Logic-based questions center around old world qualifying questions. These are questions that both annoy and aggravate the customer. Logic-based questions basically ask for money information so the salesperson can begin to salivate. What's your present payment? What have you paid in the past? What's your budget? You want to lease or buy? These questions will fall under the category of none of your business. Here's the key concept. Do not qualify the buyer. Let them qualify themselves because you're so friendly, engaging, and genuinely interested, combined with interesting. The late, great Dale Carnegie said, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming really interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Emotion-based questions ask about the customer's life, not their money. Prior to beginning your presentation, ask the customer emotion-based questions to begin with the words, how long have you been thinking about, or what were you hoping for? Get the customer to paint their vision of outcome. Get the customer to paint their picture of after they buy. Emotion-based questions draw out feelings that will lead to true engagement and honest answers about how your product or your service will affect their expected outcome. During the sales presentation, ask emotion-based questions like, is that what you had in mind? Or how do you see this serving your purpose? Or how do you see your family enjoying this? Or even take it deeper with, what do you think Bobby will say when he sees this? What are you hoping to achieve? How will you use this in your business? How do you envision that this will add to your productivity? How do you believe that this will affect your profit? Here's a major point of understanding. People do not actually come to purchase. They come to purchase because they want to use. What happens after the purchase is way more important to the customer than the actual purchasing process. Drawing out their emotion during the process is the key to getting them to take ownership. Whether you're selling to a consumer or a business, whether you're selling on the phone or face-to-face, the process and the emotional involvement are exactly the same. Somebody wants to take ownership, and your job is to get them to visualize it, be engaged by you, agree with you, believe you, have confidence in you, trust you, accept your price, and pull the trigger. The key to this emotional involvement is your involvement. No manipulation, no pressure, no old world sales tactics, no neuro-linguistic programming, just friendly and genuine emotional engagement that touches the heart and the mind simultaneously. Well, Jeffrey, I've been taught to find the pain. Is that emotion? Oh, yeah, it is, in a negative way, a very negative way. Pain is a negative emotion, or as I call it, a none of your business emotion. Dumb questions like, what keeps you up at night? Create an uneasy and uncomfortable atmosphere between you and the customer. And most of the time, if you're asking negative-based questions, the customer will not give you a real answer anyway. Dude, don't find the pain, find the pleasure. Pleasure evokes positive emotion. Tell me about your vacation. How's Morgan following your passion for fashion? How's Henry inspired by your love of golf? What was your biking trip like this year? Find their pleasure, find their purpose, find their expected outcome, uncover their true emotional motives, and you will find their wallet. Now that is pleasure. When you get the customer to visualize outcome, you will also have them visualizing ownership, otherwise known to you as purchase. What keeps me up at night? None of your business. Salespeople, not you of course, are known for asking poor questions. Questions that are not only embarrassing, questions that are also rude. And I would be remiss if I didn't add questions that make them appear desperate and pressing for a sale. The dumbest question in sales is, what will it take to get your business? It is by far the worst question you can ask a customer. It makes you a price seller rather than a value provider, and it makes you look like you need the sale rather than want to earn and grow a relationship. Here's the reality. There is a close second to dumbest. What keeps you up at night? Are you kidding me? None of your business, that's what. You're at the beginning of a sales call trying to build positive rapport and earn some level of like and trust, and you're asking me that kind of question? It's almost as dumb as trying to find the pain. Please don't get me started on 1972 sales manipulation and insincerity. Why not ask the prospect a question that relates to their real life and their present situation that's potentially more revealing than a Miss America question? Here's a major aha and a major aha question. What wakes you up in the morning? That's a positive-based question that, when asked with a smile, will get you real answers, real fact, and reveal real truth. It's lighthearted, but powerful when followed up with what else or then what. That will create dialogue that is totally customer-focused, thereby achieving the purpose of interaction and dialogue. Here's what to do. Think of all the answers on the next page in terms of yourself first. What wakes you up? It reveals your top-of-mind thoughts, issues, concerns, goals, problems, and attitude towards them. You got it? Now direct them at the customer or the prospect and listen to the eye-popping, ear-de-waxing, and self-qualifying answer. You ask, what wakes you up in the morning? They answer, light of day. Easy answer leads to then what? Alarm clock. Another easy answer still leads to then what? Kids. Great answer. Leads to all kinds of mutual discussion points and common interests if you also have kids. Relationships. A bit touchy? Let the prospect lead. Coffee, shower, exercise, the news. These subjects might reveal things that you share in common. The day and things to be done. People will make their day more important than your day, and you will feel it when they chatter and complain about having too much to do. Now let's take it deeper. Asking the then what question will get them to the next phase of their reality. It started out light, now it gets to some real issues. You might ask, what else wakes you up? And they might say, oh, money or the lack of it. Think of this one in terms of yourself. Go lightly, but it's very revealing. Health issues, a physical ailment or medical condition may impact their attention span or decision-making capability, or even getting out of bed. Pain. If they're in pain, then the pain will affect concentration and span of attention. Energy or positive anticipation. This is great. An enthusiastic person can connect with your compelling presentation and catch your positive feelings. All the stuff that he or she is excited about. These are golden issues that need to be embellished on and compared to what it will be like when your stuff gets its chance. Maybe there's some big issues: IRS, business failure, damaged reputation, lawsuits, a pending merger, a pending big order. That could be a positive sign. Business issues. The day-to-day often gets in the way of month to month and year to year. Stay away from the mundane and be aware of the complainer. Personal issues, family and relationship issues can have real impact either way on your meeting outcome, pending marriage or pending divorce. Career issues, work, boss, sales, people, and events can have a huge impact or implications on your need to do something today. Nagging issues or worries. These are elements that slow down the actions a customer is willing to take. If you know what they are, you'll be less likely to be impatient and more likely to create a winning game plan to make the sale. And then there's unfinished issues. Stuff undone, wait till after, are defeating words to the ears of salespeople. But if you know what the issues are, you can get a better sense of when. There may be projects underway. Most people are limited in the amount of work and projects they can take on. When your customer dwells on present situation and major project, you can expect postponement. Make sure that you nail down expected completion date or deadlines. If it's close, you're toast. Best thing you can do when there's a close deadline, offer assistance. Here's a major clue. Don't overdo the process. Ask a few questions, gain a few answers, and move on. As a result, you will then have some new information, maybe some common interests and a few smiles, and certainly a prospect who is engaged and thinking. Made you think, didn't I? You can do the same with your prospect. Stay away from defensive-based questions. Your response will lead you down the right path. Their responses will lead you down the right path. And the business relationship and the mutual respect path. If you break this law, when you fully understand my personal law of people don't like to be sold, but they love to buy, you will immediately see that asking your way to the sale is much more powerful than telling your way to the sale. You've broken the law if you do not start with questions. You've broken the law if questions are not in the middle of your presentation, and you've broken the law if you do not end your presentation with questions. Powerful, emotionally engaging questions. And note well, if you feel you ask a lot of questions and you're still not getting the results that you're looking for, then it's likely that your questions are old world qualifying questions or logic-based questions based on money and your need, or should I say your greed to make the sale. If you follow the law, this law is based on power. Power in preparation, power in the question itself, and power in your ability to ask the question in a way that the customer is impressed with your knowledge, impressed with your preparation, and forced to answer in a way that benefits you. Superior questions create superior engagement. Emotional questions create emotional engagement. And both of these elements create winning scenarios that result in both sales and relationships. When the customer is impressed by the quality of your questions, they will be more willing, more forthcoming to provide truthful information. Now there's a bonus. By following this law, you will continue to gain expertise and even sales supremacy as you face customers who are increasingly demanding and wanting to know what's in it for them. Caution, please don't think that 1 or 2 questions will take you to the promised land. More like 20 or 25 questions are what you need as a foundation to build true engagement and respect. And here's the aha. Formulating powerful, engaging questions takes more work than you realize. Allocate and dedicate time to make that happen. Here's another aha. The ultimate engagement question makes the customer stop and think, consider new information, and respond in terms of you. And here's another aha. Telling is selling. Asking is buying. Asking is listening, learning, and discovering the customer's motive or motives to buy. You cannot make sales at your price without them. Here's the key to implementation. Collaboration is the key to gaining question dominance. Start with 10 of your customers. Talk to them one by one. Ask them why they bought, why they love you, why they remain loyal, and how much price plays a factor in your relationship, why they would refer you, and their experience with your product or your service. Record all those conversations, and from those notes, you're going to be able to formulate powerful questions based on the content of their answers. Once these questions have been formulated, meet with your coworkers, your boss, and your CEO, and present your questions and ask for their insight, their feedback, and their ideas. This collaboration will lead you to the power questions that you need for engagement, respect, impact, and sales. The ultimate power question makes the customer understand that you're there for both business and value.